Welcome back, everybody. Making a morning video for you now. So just a bit of an overview. We're going to look at Bitcoin and XRP. So let's check out some of these coins then, shall we? So we'll start off with just a recap of what the big deal is with Bitcoin, okay? And then we'll transfer all this over to XRP because it's very important that we understand Bitcoin first because it dictates the trend. So what's going on here? We have this upwards level of support resistance coming in from 2017 where we found rejection, supports, rejections, supports, and rejections, and lots of rejections, and then a little support and then a rejection. So it's very relevant to understand what this means and what historically has happened once we have had a significant rejection from this level. So far we found a rejection on this level here. This is where we were really rejected. We were trying to push above it. We did, and then there's a lot of opportunities to be rejected up at these upper resistance levels, but this one it just really could not take it at all, and we dropped down from the top to the bottom 17.5%. Now just for a bit of scope as to what happens when we get rejected from here in the past, this one you could say has been rejected and we came down to this level here, which is almost 20%. This little bit down here, I say this little bit, this massive bit down here, all the way down 63.5%, but I don't count that as much because there was other factors at play there. However, we do have to take that on board, but realistically that's a 20% move there. Oh, look what happened on this one. We got rejected here, didn't we? Let's have a look at that one. Let's measure that one out from top to bottom. That's a 34%, almost 35% move. We broke down at this level here as well. This is where, similar to the way it looks actually where we are right now, because we found a support on here. We've been supported, and then supported for a day, and then it gave it up. So let's measure that one up from the point where it broke down to, I suppose, these levels. We're talking 20% again. These ones are obviously all supported. Oh, rejection on this one here. Let's measure this one out. I won't bore you to death with all of these, but I just want to give you an idea of how dramatic it can be when we touch these levels. So here to here, that was 17%. Obviously that was a wick there, so we won't bother measuring that one. And the earliest one that we've got back all the way back down here in 2017 in September. Come on. I shouldn't make videos so early in the morning. I'm just too tired. Oh, what happened there? Oh my god, what's happening? So we'll just measure this last one out just for a bit of a scope. And that one was a really significant one. So that was, we're looking at 43% move. So now you understand the trend line, and let's think about where we are right now. So we have had a rejection from that level, and we've come down what would almost the average amount. So the average amount when we look at all of these, I'd say is roughly about 20%, roughly. That's the average amount. If it were to fall down to the max, which we're not going to mention the 65% or whatever that was, but we'll think about the 34 to 40% move. Where would that take us? So a 35% move would take us to the mid 7,000s actually, so just about 7,700, which is where there's actually a significant area of support resistance. It's a pivot point really for Bitcoin. And let's put that one in, 7,700, and where does that bring us to? Basically an area that, and it actually goes back quite a fair way actually, 7,700. If I remember rightly, there's a variety of places where it was supported and rejected from. So 7,700. So we find ourselves being launched up here. We've got supports here. We've got supports around here. We've got resistance here. We've got launch point there. Obviously, big breakdown. Launch point there. So 7,700 is kind of a pivot point, and actually that would bring us down to our lowest target. Now this white one here, this symbolizes the bottom end of the CME gap. If that were to get filled, there should theoretically you would imagine there to be a bounce around this level. Now it sounds like I'm being very bearish, but really I'm not actually that bearish in the short term on this one. I'm actually thinking that there's likely to be a move. So we'll go to the 4 hourly, and I promise I'll look onto XRP in a minute. So when we look at the 4 hourly, the MACD is heading towards the 0 point, although we do have some negative tick down as of today on the histogram, but we are above the 10 exponential moving average, which generally should signify more move to the up. The Bollinger Bands are getting quite tight, they're pinching, so we could find ourselves being launched. We do have the upper end of this blue box territory is it's resistance. The whole area is resistance. We've got a green 50 exponential moving average. That should be heavy opportunity to be rejected from there. We've also got this big downtrending Ichimoku cloud, which is all going to be resistance and pushing us all the way back down from what it seems here to just above 10,000. So I think there's likely to be a move, a stab to the up. Maybe today might be the last day for it, or tomorrow. But the overall direction, according to the daily, is still going to continue down because we're being rejected from the 10 exponential moving average here, which is really fast approaching negative. Now, that is the Bitcoin situation. I mean, on top of this, recently, since the big drop, the RSI is creeping up, and it looks as though it's trying to make higher highs and higher lows. But other than that, we did trade this the other day to say that once we break out of this trend line, we were trading this one on a 2-hour, but we'll go to a 4-hour to see it a bit better. So once we broke out of this trend line, this would have been a trading opportunity, and it did work out, but then it broke down. So we traded it up to this level here, and we've not really found an opportunity to get back in again. I mean, you could have bought anywhere down here, I suppose, would have been okay, but for me personally, I've not traded any of these. I've traded SXP, I've bought SXP, but I've since sold that, waiting for this pullback, because just don't really have the time to be sitting at this computer all day. Unfortunately, though, I do believe that it's likely to continue up ever so slightly. So let's look at XRP, okay, on this video. So we're looking at it on the daily here, being rejected from the 10 exponential moving average, being supported on the 200 simple moving average, and we're beneath the Bollinger Band here. But you could also argue being rejected on this Ichimoku cloud. The money flow index is fast approaching up. We've got some nice ticks on the histogram, and actually the bottom level of our MACD has now gone completely horizontal. That's not such a bad looking chart, apart from I would like to have seen us break above this 10 simple. What we need to do is break above 24.5 cents. That should give us an opportunity to make our way up another cent, just above another cent, to 25 cents roughly. And if that breaks, then 26.5%. So there's a decent opportunity to, I suppose, to risk the trade here. Now, I'm not your financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but if it were to break, we're talking about just short of an 8% move. A possible 8% move. But as we're being rejected at the moment, we could come back down to test this 200 exponential, or even lower. These two are converging. There's not much between them, but they both seem to be offering up support. They have done on these last few days. So if we do come down, maybe a buying opportunity around about 23 cents, which I've said a couple of weeks ago that this is the support level. 23 cents is the support for XRP, and if that breaks down, then it would be a significant drop down to around about 20 cents to maybe 19.5 cents. So as far as XRP is concerned, we're in the middle of the range. We are being rejected at the moment. Let's go down to a smaller term time frame. We go to a 4-hour to see how we're looking on that one. So we're at the top of the Bollinger Band, probably going to come back down to test the center. So we're talking 23.8 cents maybe is where we will find our next bounce from, unless of course we can bounce from 24.1 where the 10 exponential is at the moment. As far as the rest of the chart is concerned, the MACD and the RSI both look reasonably constructive, so I think we're kind of ranging and snaking our way up, but this big red cloud here will offer rejection, and I still think that the riskiest trade to make is now, because the overall trend to me looks like we're still in this downtrend, although there might be a bit of a what you could consider to be a relief rally. It's not for me to jump in on a relief rally halfway through a long-term downtrend. We've got basically death crosses across the board for alts and for Bitcoin. So even though that's just a 4-hourly, it generally does play out. The death cross took place around this level here. We moved up into it, but really, I mean, look, we've got these giant wicks on both sides of the system there. So it doesn't matter which side, if you were long or short, there's a very good chance that people are getting liquidated all over the place, because wicks are there to liquidate you. That's basically what they're there for. So if you're long or you're short, you basically could quite easily have got liquidated in that sense. So don't play the cross, play the latter part of the cross. You know, don't think, oh, the cross is going to happen, this means we're going down from here. No. Wait for the cross to happen, wait for the divergence, and then play that cross out. So that's where we stand with both Bitcoin and XRP. In summary, we're short term, possible move to the up. Long term, I still think the downtrend is likely, with a bottom end lowest low target of around about 7,700, but likely find a decent bounce around 9,600, which is basically the lower end of the CME gap. For me, I'm not going to trade this one at the moment, but if I were to trade it, and if I was new to all of this, I would use my Binance link. I've got a 20% link that gives you 20% and me 20% on all your trading fees. So you basically get back 20% of the fees that you've paid, and you'll see all that accumulate at the bottom of your referral page. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.